Boom!
Hello.
Hello,
Hi,
everybody.
Hi. So, how's everybody doing?
Living the dream. How you doing?
Good. I'm excited for our special guest.
Same here.
Do we have one? I didn't know.
We do.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Wow. Well,
Yes.
we could do small talk or we could bring on our special guest.
Well, our special guest has many layers to him. So, we're going to be peeling those, right?
Does he ever make us cry?
I hope not. Well, just in case,
I know. Fresh box. I love it.
And he dresses like Chad sometimes.
He does.
Sometimes.
Can anybody guess?
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome to the Never-Ins stage, Mr. Mark Fisher. Whoa.
Hey. Down under.
Love
Today.
G'day, everybody.
Hello. Welcome.
Hello. How you doing, Marilyn? Hi, Clearwater Chat.
Hey, great to see you, Mark.
Hey.
Very good. So here we are. It's a great surprise.
Just the four of us. We can make it if we try. Just the four of us.
He's going to start singing already. Good to have you, Mark.
You keep making
my Rock Slammer t-shirt.
Love it.
Yeah,
Love it.
Mark, you keep making those videos on Las Vegas, and I might have to come over there and visit.
Well, you're welcome anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just started doing that for fun a week ago, and I've got 354 subscribers, I think.
Oh,
you know, going to slowly make my way to 1,000, I hope. Oh, thanks, Marilyn. But if you want to subscribe to my channel, it's Las Vegas Travel and More. Okay. And it's at MFisherLV. That's at MFisherLV. And I just did a video in Hawaii, right, Chad? You saw that one, right?
Yeah, I seen the one you did just several minutes ago. Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, it's fun. It's something different to do. You know, we deal with all this crap on Scientology all the time, and I thought, hey, why not? Let's do another little fun channel. And then Janice is over in Portugal, and now they just left this morning on their cruise. So nice. I've been posting photographs up there as well.
Is that it?
There you go. Yeah, that's it. So please subscribe.
LV.
Yeah.
Yes.
At MFisherLV, please subscribe. You'll enjoy it. They're fun videos. I put up a little short the other day of pancakes from Blueberry Hill. It got like 2,400 views.
Ooh,
nice. Like pancakes.
Oh God.
You're even better with Vermont maple syrup, probably though.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Denver Steve-O wouldn't know.
Oh, poor Denver Steve-O. Sorry, I had to send some all the way to the UK today.
Oh my. Lucky Alex.
Shush. Now I feel bad. Oh, where did Chad go?
Oh my goodness. We lost Chad.
There he is.
Yeah, Chad, you have to go visit Mark and take a picture of both of you with your Hawaiian shirts.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. Definitely.
I love that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That would be the best.
We're seriously talking about setting up an SP cruise sometime this spring out of LA. It's just like a 3-day booze cruise on Carnival Cruise Lines or something like that. Very inexpensive. All you do is you get to LA somehow, and then the cruise for 3 days, including food and everything, is like, if you do it by yourself, it's like $600. But if you share a room, it's $300, something like that, ballpark. But we're going to get the details together on that when Janice comes back and see what we can support up. I already know John Poe said he would go, and we've got some other people too. So anyway, it'd be fun. You know, I'd love to go on a cruise, and it'd be fun to see everybody and meet everybody. So
yeah,
absolutely.
Love that, yeah.
Asen.
I've never been on a cruise. Asen.
You've never been on a cruise?
No. Well, like little ones, like on a big lake, but not a real one. No.
They're amazing. I mean, I had never been on one either, but that's better than the Apollo. Let's put it that way. But
Oh my goodness.
Hope so.
but really, I mean, you can eat whatever you want. They have restaurants. They have places. I mean, literally everything is free. Well, it's included in your price.
Right.
All the drinks are free except if you want alcohol, you can get an alcohol package for like, I think it's like $25 a day or $50, whatever it is, $50 a day, and then you have unlimited alcohol. I don't drink, so that's not really an issue.
Right.
But it's a lot of fun, and you go out and you cruise. You basically sit around and you talk to people. You can go. They have shows. They have nightclubs, and you can go gambling if you want. I mean, there's all sorts of things to do. And the main thing that's great about it is just socializing.
Definitely.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think Chad's like me. He and I would just plant ourselves and let everybody come to us.
Oh, absolutely.
That's exactly right. Yeah, you find a place to plant yourself, and then just let everybody come. As a matter of fact, we went on a cruise to the Caribbean. This is before COVID. There was about 15 of us, something like that. No, it was the cruise that we went on to Cuba. And literally, my friend Tom Provenzano, who used to be the cameraman at Gold, he and I, we get up. We're early risers, and we were sharing a room. So we got up at 6:45, and the breakfast buffet opened up at 7. So we just went in there and planted ourselves down at a table. We didn't leave till noon. Literally, they had breakfast and set up for lunch because people just kept coming in from our group. We'd sit down and talk, and then they'd leave, and other people come in. It was just a lot of fun.
Nice. You had me at
yes, and we did play Cards Against Humanity, Steve Britton.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a fun game. That's a crazy game.
And Matt has a question for you. Matt's caustic comments. Question for Mark. Speaking of Vegas, I know Boss Baby and TC gambled, but what is Scientology's view on public gambling?
I don't think they have one. I mean, it never really came up as such. Whatever it was, they didn't want you to, do something illegal. But the thing about Boss Baby, he gambled with Pat Broker with L. Ron Hubbard's money. They actually had cash for L. Ron Hubbard, and that came up in their security, in their confessional security checks, that they were actually going to Vegas when they were supposed to be meeting up. This is when L. Hubbard was still alive, and they were gambling with some of his money, and they weren't using their own money.
Wow.
That figures.
Yeah.
Deviant Outcast said better than the Apollo, setting the bar really low there, are we?
Nice.
Were you ever on the free wins?
No, I never was. I was never sent anywhere. Like, when the whole Portland Crusade happened in the mid 80s, I always was the person who had to hold down the fort at the Gold Base. So I was the one who took care of things while there with the skeleton crew that were left. So, and same thing with the free wins. I never had a chance. I didn't go anywhere. Literally, I didn't go on any missions or do anything like that. So.
Hey, before we get too far,
valuable, I think.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Before we get too far here, I don't want to miss this post that comes to us every Monday every week from wonderful
Our
Joel McCoyne.
Kicks it off. Yes.
Allow me. Yep. Hold on. There we go.
Nice. I forgot about the tomato.
Yes, indeed. Stop the presses. Hold your horses. This is really hard to read from this distance. It's Monday. Yep. It's time for the Nutty Never-Ins. So pull up a chair. Grab you a drink. Oh, I like that one. Although I'm not really a drinker either. And away we go.
I have tea right now.
There you go.
I have peach tea.
Rocking the Sonic today. This is it's an Arnie Palmer with black cherry.
And I like at Sonic, which I don't go very often, is cherry limeade.
Absolutely.
My cherry limeade is delicious. Yeah.
Yes, they are. Yep. They also have that. They have the, what's it called? I
love that mug.
What was it? Oh God, yes.
My son. Yeah, I love this one. What you talking about, Willis?
I got this one here.
Mofo, yours even better.
Sorry,
We
I
have the
can't figure it out.
snarky
There
cups.
That's all good.
we go.
The
Mofo
mirror,
Mark.
yeah, it's hard. Mofo Mark.
Love it.
And then we got this one here too. So that's nice and easy. And it's
What
got
does
this
that
on
say?
the other side. Oh, this one's
Right
our
hand.
Scientology stories, peeling the onion. And then the other side it says, right, Janice?
Janet? I love that.
Correct, Mark.
That's excellent.
Oh boy. Did you all watch Mike and Mark tonight talking about Tom Cruise and David Beckham?
Yes.
Yeah, that was great. And
Yeah.
the excursion was funny too.
Oh, with the vehicle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How they
That happened.
yeah, that's crazy.
The vehicle thing happened, and a lot of that Tom Cruise stuff happened after I left. I was there when he first came to the base, and when he first met David Miscavige, I literally was there, when that happened, and I met Tom Cruise briefly. But they bend over backwards, and Miscavige, had spent all this money and basically wined and dined him because, in my opinion, Miscavige, he always was like the big boss in Scientology, but he was small in comparison to like a celebrity like Tom Cruise. So all of a sudden his ego inflated to the size of, Tom Cruise, and he had to have everything Tom Cruise had. And this is after we left. And basically started spending money and taking money and getting private planes and having his own tanning space and having more rooms and custom made shoes and custom made this and all that. And it was all just because, I'm the leader, I'm the Pope of Scientology, so I need to, keep up with my friend Tom Cruise. And that, it's just nuts because a lot of us Sea Org members who've been there a long time on our, $35 a week pay or whatever it was we were getting paid, we're all going like, you're supposed to be one of us and you're really not. So anyway.
Well, apparently he did more for Scientology than anyone else.
That was.
Yep.
That's right. And then David Beckham, and they were smart to keep away. But I did notice that Will Smith, he took on David Miscavige's personality and slapped, Chris Rock. That was Miscavige like,
Wow.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I never thought about that.
I was going to say, how's Tupac figure into all this?
Jada Smith grew up with him in Baltimore.
Right. And apparently they were soulmates.
I guess so. And, their marriage, they've been separated for the last 7 years and all that, all this stuff. That was a bizarre moment. Did you see that slap, when on the
I did. I was watching when it happened. Yeah.
I was too. And at first, everybody thought he was joking until he went back out in the audience and started yelling. And you could tell he was having a psychotic incident at that point in time. He was not being, his normal self. And something took over, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I know other people, I don't know if anybody's ever been in a fight before, like an actual physical fight where they could be the nicest person. And all of a sudden, boom, they flip a switch and they're a killer. Basically, they want to put you out, and you kind of lose control, even losing your temper. Sometimes you feel like you've lost control. And that's how Will Smith was that night.
I've been in some fights.
I do not want to get into a fist fight with Marilyn.
I've never been in a fist fight. I've been hit before, but never, instigated or been in a fight,
I didn't instigate it, but girls can be. It's like, yeah, there were fists, but there were earrings being thrown and claws and yeah, it's bad. Hair, a lot of hair pulling. Yeah, it's pretty bad, but that happened.
This sounds high schooly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was just defending myself. Never happened again. Stand up to the bully. But
yeah, that's good. You got to stand up. Yeah.
How's the weather in Denver and Vermont and Clearwater? We're still kind of warm. We're still like in the 80s. You know what I mean? It's in Vegas. It's a wonderful time of year, that's for sure.
It's kind of damp here. It's like cool. I mean, the weather's just back and forth. Sometimes it's really, nice and sunny, but it's definitely changing. We had some like what they call a nor'easter, but it wasn't with the snow. It was just like
Mm-hmm.
windy, took all the beautiful leaves off the trees. But yeah, it's definitely fall time for Halloween.
Wow.
Yeah.
How is it there, Denver?
I was going to say it's starting to get chillier. It's I think low 70s is about where the high is. So of course at night it gets cold, and I was just noticing this morning, like there's just random trees that just decided to start dropping their leaves, but then there's still quite a few that haven't gotten there yet. So
very good, and right around in the 50-degree territory in the Clearwater, Buffalo.
wow,
there you go. It gets cold there in the wintertime, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely gets very cold, and a lot of snow. If you get usually a couple storms a year. Yep.
You get lake effect snow there, though, right? Doesn't it come off the lakes?
Yeah, we're 10-15 minutes from the lake. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
You expecting snow soon, Chad?
I mean, not this next week, but I mean, I don't think I ever remember. There's usually at least one big storm, which is fine. We're so used to it; it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'll take some pictures this year, though, since we have the channel. The whole,
So where are the birds coming from? It sounds pretty. Is it
the birds?
Yeah.
Not for me.
Yeah, somebody's got birds.
Anybody hear it? Is that outside your window, Chad?
Oh, I don't think it's me. I've been trying to mute myself, but I don't have any birds now.
My dog is sleeping.
Only Steve-O and I hear the birds squeaking.
No. I hear something, but I think it's like a dog sleeping.
Is it like this? Is my chair squeaking?
No, I do hear some birds in the background.
I don't know
what they are. I don't know what they are, but it sounds like birds.
Yeah.
It sounds nice.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's not an unpleasant sound.
Not a bad, yeah.
But ever since I got that, oh, sorry, go ahead, Mark.
No, I was going to say, I see Matt's Caustic Comments is asking a question for Mark. What happened to the guy sent in to spy on you? When was your last contact? I basically disconnected from him in 2009, August of 2009, when the article came out in the St. Petersburg Times in the Truth Rundown, where I outed him because Marty Rathbun had outed this guy to me. And then I went ahead and did an interview with the St. Petersburg Times, the Truth Rundown, and they ran the article. And I didn't tell him beforehand that the article was coming out, but the day before I said, you're going to want to check your computer tomorrow. And then he checked it. And then I called him on the phone, or he called me, one or the other. I can't remember which it was. But basically I said, look, I just want to know one question. I said, were you paid to spy on me? And he wouldn't answer the question. All he did was accuse me of it. That it was all my fault, that I pulled us in. It was all me. And he would never answer a question. I said, did Scientology pay you to spy on me? And he would never answer that question. And then he popped his head up. A few years later, Tony Ortega ran my story in his underground bunker. And he actually got in the chat. And was chatted, sent a couple chats, and Tony responded. And Tony said, hey, if you want to come on, just let me know. Give me your phone number. And I gave Tony the guy's phone number. And Tony called, but the guy never called back. He just, he's a coward. We looked him up last January. He lives in Scottsdale, Arizona. Janice and me and a bunch of our friends, we were down there visiting ex-Scientology friends there, and I decided to just Google him and just look him up. And he's a real estate agent in Scottsdale, Arizona, or whatever. But he's just 10 years.
Wow.
He posed as my friend, and he was a Scientology operative, and he got we did a lot of traveling, we did a lot of different things, and then they tried to blame me for a bunch of stuff that I didn't do. And it was all just to get blackmail material on me. But anybody who wants to see the details, I did a video interview in July with Aaron on his channel saying Mark Fisher, Scientology tried to muzzle me. And it's based off of the spy files that Mark Headley sent to me. and from 2006, 2007 from OSA, and it's actually in writing. Now, I always suspected what had been done, but this was actually in writing confirming what actually did happen. And, you know, they were trying to destroy me. They were trying to get me fired. They were trying to get me turned into the IRS. They were trying to do all sorts of stuff because I started speaking out on the internet. That's why that happened. And at the time, I had an attorney friend of mine call up this private investigator they had that was doing this operation on me, and just tell them if they didn't stop bothering me about my business, that I'd be seeing them in court, you know. And they stopped. They stopped doing it. I didn't hear anything from then on. And of course, my friend was still, quote unquote, my friend. So they still had, you know, eyes on me in terms of what was going on for an additional 3 years. But that's that story. Anyway, anybody's interested, watch that video. It's on my channel.
Yeah.
It's also on.
I'll have to watch it again. I know I watched it, but so he wasn't an ex-Scientologist. He was hired by a private investigator, or he was a private investigator.
No, he wasn't. He was hired, you know, basically to be a friend by a private investigator. He's hired by Dave LeBeau, who's the Scientology private investigator. He's the first guy, Dave LeBeau, that they ever sent in on us in Las Vegas in 1991. And he was a guy that their main private investigator hired to come in and spy on us in Las Vegas. The guy, Dave LeBeau, wasn't a PI at that time, but then he later became a PI, and he was involved in all this stuff, you know. But anyway, this guy, Ferris Khan is his name, in the Phoenix, Scottsdale area. And, you know, we're going to do a video on him. We're going to show photographs and all sorts of stuff because it was really dirty business. And, you know,
just so he wasn't your friend. He wasn't your friend prior. They said they hired him to go befriend you.
Yeah, he came and he was hired by our company, the company we were working at. So he was an employee, and his wife, who also came to work for us, she became friendly with he was spying not just on me, he was spying on Janice and her husband, and Janice's sister and her husband, and because we had a whole group there. And it wasn't until the Lisa McPherson thing came up that he latched onto me and started, because I left the company to go work on my own, and they were worried about me going off on my own. And so he latched onto me, and then we became friends. We talked all the time. He paid me to do some work for him, which I did. And then we started having fun and traveling and stuff. And he got to the point where I talked to him 2-3 times a day, every day. I mean, he was like what you would call like your best friend. Like, I consulted with him, talked about my business, I mean, I was an open book because I didn't have any reason to believe otherwise, you know.
Right.
Did he seem like he had more money than he should? Because if they were paying him and he was so that never.
Well, yeah, no, he worked. He worked as a loan officer at Wells Fargo Bank in Arizona after he worked for us. But he always had money to go on trips, you know. And you know, we asked him, well, what are you doing? And he goes, oh, I own a convenience store. My family owns a convenience store in the New Orleans area, and we saw I'd get money from that. Yeah, exactly.
That's funny.
He's a Pakistani American. He was Pakistani, but he was born in America. And
you know, I've always wondered. Wondered that is that so many people, it seems like they, you know, weren't Scientologists, not necessarily PIs, but were hired by PIs to go in. Has anyone ever come forward and said, "Hey, Scientology tried to hire me to be your friend"? Is that happening?
Well, yeah, they did. They did. The woman who became friends with Mike Rinder and his wife Christy, who moved into the house across the street and all that, she's then since come out and spoken out on their channel and with Leah Remini on the podcast and stuff. That's the first one that ever did that, you know. But yeah, it's dirty money as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? I can understand if they just start doing it and they had no idea who you were, but after they know who you are, you know what I mean, that you're a good person and all that, I'd be a little bit like freaked out by going like, hey, they're paying me basically to spy on you, everything they know. And he continued for 10 years, you know.
Act like your best friend for 10 years and then he never felt bad and said he was sorry.
No. He was all my fault. You know what I mean? It's basically blaming me, you know what I mean? And not admitting that he ever did it, but we know he did it. You know what I mean? Because, you Marty Rathbun told me, and then they told me about the thing they had this guy do to get me to go down to Mexico. And I said, that's my friend Ferris. What are you talking about? I just talked to him on the phone. Oh, Marty goes, I don't know who the guy's name was, but yeah, we sent you down to Puerto Vallarta because we didn't want you down in Florida for the Lisa McPherson thing. And Miscavige said, keep Fisher out of Florida. So they cooked up this whole deal where they sent me down to Mexico to meet with an investor to invest in a business that Ferris was setting up that we were going to be partners in. And it was just a total ruse, Anyway.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, Liz Ferris. Hey, Mom.
Hey,
Hi,
Liz.
Liz Ferris.
Hey. I hope you got your voice back. I saw her she was live earlier. She sounds a lot better, but yesterday she had no voice at all, hardly, because did you see them outside a Celebrity Center?
I watched some of it, yeah.
Yeah, wasn't that awesome? Yeah. It was amazing.
It
It
was.
reminded me of the protests back in the day for Anonymous when they did the protests in 2008 or whatever in front of all the organizations. I went to a couple of those.
Yeah, I was so proud of them.
Mm-hmm.
It was wild. I guess they're gonna do more. There's one in the UK, in London. Where's St. Hill? Is that? It's not in London. Where is that?
Grinstead.
Grinstead.
So,
Yeah. I
wherever
guess
that
that's
is.
more of like a fortress, though. Have you ever been to St. Hill?
I've been there one time, but one time for like years ago. Like I just remember the manor house and the grounds, but I couldn't describe very much about it. But Apostate Alex is doing a great job, setting up this whole protest and stuff.
Yep.
And I'm going to be on his channel on Wednesday. He's going to interview me Wednesday at
cool.
live on. I think it's 2:00 our time in Pacific time, so Mountain time would be 3:00 and 5:00 Eastern on Wednesday.
Very cool.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Matt's Caustic Content. Matt's Caustic Comments just got a Facebook friend request. Someone with a very Pakistani sounding name. I don't know this person. Oh, says that you? Yeah. Coincidence, huh? I think not.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't click.
Witness said Amy Scobie interviewed a former PI that was hired to follow her.
Mm-hmm.
It was unbelievable. Yeah.
I think it was the same woman that was after Mike and Kirsten too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on that story, the private investigator that Scientology hired, he hired these people out of a class he was teaching on private investigation at a local community college.
That's right.
And that's where he met these girls. And then he got them pregnant. He had 2 of them pregnant at the same time. And yeah, he's a real lowlife. These private investigators are not,
What was his name? Dwayne something?
Dwayne something, yeah.
And he did illegal things too. He put the GPS trackers, which are illegal, didn't he?
Yeah, and he also is the one, him and his son, that were following Ron Miscavige Sr.
All the weapons.
And they're the ones that got arrested for having, weapons and all sorts of stuff in their car,
Yeah, I remember watching or actually listening to the audio on, believe it was actually on Ron Miscavige's YouTube channel. It's probably still there. And listening to the whole, what do you call it? Like, I don't know, not interrogation but whatever, when they interview them after they got arrested, the father and the son, that was wild because they basically confessed that, the whole thing about him really not caring whether he lived or died, his own father, because he was clutching his cell phone. They thought he was having a heart attack, and he just said, let him go.
Yeah, everything's about David Miscavige. Nothing. He doesn't care about anybody else. He's a classic narcissist.
Powell,
everything is about him. Dwayne Powell, that's right.
Yes, thank you.
Hi, Dave. You suck. And Dwayne.
And Dwayne, yes.
And Osa smells like poo.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Yep, verified facts.
They do.
Yeah, and the reason I mentioned, Matt's caustic comments brought this up, obviously, is because Steve told me today that what's his name, Tony something or other, I don't even know, Zero Dark Tony did some video this weekend mentioning me or whatever. I don't even pay attention to that stuff. I don't watch it, and it doesn't have. I mean, I asked Steve how many views does this guy get? 200-300 views. Who cares, And I know what the truth is. And that's why I told Steve-O, I said,
Mhm.
just watch the video I did with Aaron, and I have the documentation there, and you can see exactly what they tried to do to me. So I'm not, you know, I don't really care. I mean, at this point, I understand the pressure that some of the Never-Ins and some of the SPTV people are under, because when you know, I'm 65 years old, I'm retired, I'm on Medicare, you know what I mean? It's like, what are they going to do to me, you know? But when you're working and you have a family and you have kids and all that, they find whatever the button is and they push it and they try and get you to shut up. But yeah, it's not going to work with Janice and I. So. And I don't think a lot of people, but I understand if it is a lot of pressure, because they try and get you to stop, you know, and they're campaigning. They're obviously doing this, you know, but I could care less, you know, bring it on. They don't call me Mofo Mark for nothing. You know,
That's great.
That's what I'm thinking. You know, it's like I've been raked over the coals. Literally, I have 3rd-degree burn scars on my hands to prove it. And you know, it's like, you want to try to find my there you go, Mofo. You know, you want to try to find my buttons or my ruin. I've already been ruined, and I'm, you know, came up from the ashes. And yeah, I'm not an ex-Scientologist, but you know, I'm pretty tough. And yeah, it's like, bring it on, like you said.
You are, yeah.
And you know what Chad's feeling is on that. It's fine if people watch this stuff, but if anyone believes it, Chad's got some land in Clearwater to sell you.
That's right.
Exactly.
Oh, this is so funny. This was about the comment that I couldn't remember Dwayne Powell's last name. Deviant Outcast. I ran from the kitchen, leaving my dinner frying, to write that comment. So none of you nutties better remember the name. Thank you, Deviant Outcast.
Thank you, Deviant.
I love that.
You.
I hope you didn't burn your dinner. I'm sorry.
Hope you're enjoying some sliced tomato for your dinner.
Tomato sandwich.
That's right.
You mentioned Ron Miscavige, though, or sorry, I did mention him or whatever, but I just put out a video. Janice did an interview on his channel several years ago, and so we recorded a new intro for it. Yeah, we recorded like a 15, 20-minute intro. Janice had some photos, and then we played the video afterwards to get, you know, so, you know, people would remember it of her. So that's out on our channel right now. And we did that before she left. You know, she's going to be gone for like 2.5 weeks, so I'm filling in the for her. But I think I'll be okay. I've got, like I said, I'm doing Apostate Alex is going to interview me on Wednesday on his channel. And then next Saturday, Poe on the Go, John Poe's going to be on my channel. And I asked him to basically be my little interviewer like I did with you, Denver Steve-O. This time we're going to do about my father, my dad's story. Denver Steve-O and I did one about my mother. Well, we're going to do one about my father, because my father's the person who got into Scientology and then got us in. My mother never got in, but my father got us in. And then he left like 6 years after, and then I had to disconnect. My sister and I had to disconnect from my father and my brother, because I was in the Sea Organization. And then we reconnected, you know, about 12 years later. And then he passed away in 1996. But my dad was not just involved in Scientology. He left Scientology to get involved in another cult called Ramtha. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of that cult. I know, Maryland, you know, you guys do a lot of cult you know, shows and stuff like that.
What's it called? Ramtha?
Ramtha,
No.
Ramtha, Ramtha. And it's it's a woman named Jay-Z Knight, and she's located up in Washington State. And she channels this ancient warrior called Ramtha. Okay. He's thousands of years old. And she basically takes on this, she changes, like where she's just like into this thing. And then she speaks as this guy, Ramtha. Okay. And that's what my dad and his second wife and a lot of the people, they all got involved in that after Scientology. So we're going to talk a little bit about that.
Oh, that's fascinating. What was it? Ramtha? How do you spell that again?
R-A-M-T-H-A. Ramtha.
Okay.
And I'd never seen it, but then on YouTube, I watched a couple of videos of Jay-Z Knight being interviewed.
Jay-Z Knight.
Ramtha. J-Z Knight, K-N-I-G-H-T. But yeah, my dad was always searching. You know, he was always searching for the answer to life until the day he died, you know. So anyway, so he got involved in that. The funny thing, and I'm giving away this for but after my dad died, okay, he had a farm up in Washington State, up near Mount Rainier and Mount St. Helens. And so my brother, my dad's second wife, obviously she lived there until the day she died. Yeah, Linda Evans was a member of Ramtha. That's correct.
Wow. Interesting.
Linda Evans from Dynasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, my dad, they had a 25-acre farm up there. They basically lived there to be close to Jay-Z Knight. And they didn't really do anything except live, they were self-sufficient. They had chickens and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, I went up to see my dad when I reconnected with him. My brother and I did. And he built a cabin up on the top of his property. It was just a one-room cabin. It was nothing special, right? Anyway, so after my dad died, they left the property to me and my brother but we couldn't take it until my dad's second wife passed away. So she passed away in early 2000. Anyway, she leased it. She leased it to the Ramtha people for 10 years for $1 a year. Okay. And so this was 2002 or whatever. So she rented it to them till 2012. Okay. And for $1 a year for that. Why 2012? Because that's when Ramtha said the world was going to end.
It's going to end. Oh, I knew it.
Oh,
Whoa. Okay. I'm definitely going to dive into this one. This is very fascinating.
My brother
Love myself a doomsday cult.
Yes, indeed.
We actually fought to get the property back because it wasn't set up properly in a trust, and we ended up getting it back, my brother and I.
Good.
But we sold it to the Ramtha people. Okay, we sold it to them because who else is going to want this property? But I asked my brother. I said, why would they want to rent it for 10 years? I asked my brother, and my brother had been involved in Ramtha for he was 16 years old for 2 years, and he said, "Oh, Mark, don't you know?" I said, "No, what?" He goes, "You know that cabin that we stayed in when we were up there?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, there's an underground bomb shelter underneath it." I went, "What?" I fell over. We were in a restaurant in Las Vegas, and I went, "What?" And I fell out of my chair because my dad had taken the money he had inherited from our grandmother and bought this property and built this cabin and all that. And he goes, "Oh yeah." He goes, "It's all full of stored food they've been canning and this and that and all the stuff for the end of the world." That's how out there this whole thing was. So anyway.
So did your father build the cabin over the bomb shelter, or did they build it after?
Yeah, they built they built it as part of it. Yeah, they built it underground and built a cabin on top. You would never know it was there.
Did your dad build did he put the bomb shelter in there?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean that's my dad, and we'll talk about him next Saturday. I mean, look, I love my dad. He never really did anything harmful to anyone or to me, but that was just he was constantly looking for the answers to life, and he felt that was it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Very interesting. Wow. Yeah, I mean, my husband talks about how he was brought up in kind of a upper middle class neighborhood where all of his relatives, uncles, father were all engineers, and that's what he was expected to do. And he decided he liked the wilderness, and he took off to Vermont and joined a cult. So
yeah, well, and that's the property is beautiful, but it was out in the middle of nowhere. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so when we got the property in our name, my brother and I go, okay, well, we want to sell it because we have no need for this, right? And I told him, I said, we should sell it to the Ramtha people if they want it so bad. I said, let's get it appraised for what it's worth, and then say, look, we're gonna sell it for this price, but we'll give you a discount if you want to buy it. And we gave them a discount. They paid cash. They bought it.
Oh, wow.
Good
Where
deal.
did they get the money? I have so many questions.
They're a cult.
That's right.
Are they
Jay-Z Knight has Rolls Royces. She was a horse breeder, and I had a horse barn, and she would do these seminars for a weekend. And my dad and my dad's second wife, and all the followers, they would all go and they would stay in the horse arena and sleep on the floor and in sleeping bags for the 3 days, and they would pay for the privilege of doing that.
Of course.
Yeah, it's weird.
So anyway, are they still in operation? Do they still?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Oh.
I don't really follow it, but yeah. like I said, I looked it up on YouTube and actually watched a couple interviews with Jay-Z Knight. I was like,
oh yeah, someone's saying, do they still own the property?
I have no idea. I mean, this happened. We sold it in probably 2004. So it's been almost 20 years.
I always wonder what happens to a doomsday cult when the doomsday timeline has passed.
Well, they get that whoever the cult leader goes like, I got a new vision.
Yeah,
you know,
call
I was
me.
young. It's they've given us more time.
Pick me.
It's the same thing with global warming. It's like we were supposed to be underwater by 2010, according to Al Gore, but then of course it's still going on. You know.
Yeah. Well, my cult leader didn't have
not
a
to be
specific
political.
date.
I'm just saying that.
Yeah, right. My cult leader didn't have a specific date, but her time's running out because she's in her mid 80s and she can barely function anymore. But she was waiting for the end times was going to happen any minute, and turns out we weren't going to go in the rapture. We were going to go through the tribulation. She just kept changing everything, right? Because the rapture never happened when she said it was going to. So then she's waiting for all of the New York Jews to come up from New York City and find her so she can tell them about Jesus. Yeah, so it's interesting. It hasn't happened. The only New York Jews I see that come up is like, hey, which way to the bed and breakfast? It's not like, hey, I'm looking for Marlene Sweeney. You know, it doesn't happen.
You know, it's funny how I just was thinking about this. I wonder how many of these cults have a doomsday scenario like Hubbard is like, oh, I've got everything stored away in these mountaintops so that when the end of the world happens, you can still get my technology. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
I know Jehovah's Witnesses. Yep. Jehovah's Witnesses are like only this many people are going to be taken to heaven. You know.
Yeah. Yep. There was another UFO called you guys probably know, called Uranus, and in 2001 they said 33 spaceships UFOs were going to land in Hemet, California. And, pick everyone up. It never happened. Yeah, in Hemet. I know. What's with Hemet, right?
Wow.
Wow, that's so weird. It's kind of like near where you live, between where I live in Vermont and where Clearwater Chad lives in Buffalo. Well, where he vacations in Buffalo, New York, is what's called the Burned Over District. And that's where Mormonism and many other interesting religions, some cults. I won't call Mormonism a cult, but yeah.
No, but I was going to say Mormons, they're from upstate New York, right?
Yes,
Mormons
yes. And it's this whole district where so many different sects like SECT came from, and like all kinds of different cults. So I can't think of them all off the top of my head, but many of them. Yeah.
But it's funny. It's funny though. Every religion, not just cults, they have some faith-based story of this happened. You know what I mean? Somebody came and gave me the vision of whatever's going on. And there are huge churches that believe that still to this day. I don't make fun of any of that stuff because look, you believe whatever you believe. It's faith. It's not necessarily something like science, right? But it's faith-based. It's just, what do you do like with other people? That's what I hate about Scientology, is because they turn around and they abuse people, right? And they disconnect and break up families. They do destructive things, and that's where I draw the line. You know what I mean? If somebody wants to believe in Zeno, more power to them. We had Robin Scott on our channel and interviewed him, and he still says he's a Scientologist, although he's been declared since 1982. He doesn't believe in everything, but he believes in a lot of it. So
yeah, which is fine as long as you don't abuse people, and you can believe whatever you want, right? I do worry sometimes about children that are born in that type of situation, because
they don't have any choice in that situation.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
And then of course, Robin is known not just for Scientology, but then his cannabis business. He got arrested in the UK for growing, according to him, the best cannabis in the UK. Spent 3 years in jail, and loves the benefits of cannabis and Scientology. So
Oh well, yeah. Well, you're not hurting anybody. Stephen
I
Britton
like Peggy.
says
I'm a dudist. Oh, cool. I like what Peggy says. I'm a dudist.
That's funny.
Dudist. Religion should never abuse you. Exactly.
That's right.
Where's Steve that it would be snowing?
Canada, maybe?
Yeah,
I think he's from Canada. Yeah,
he is in Canada. I'm
Okay.
trying to think which province.
Sure. He'll tell us.
Alberta, is it, Steve?
I don't know.
Don't know.
We just wait.
I like
wait
what
for
Lim
it.
Lee says. I like what Lim Lee says. Religion should give peace and love. I totally
That's
agree
right.
with that.
Yeah.
100%.
Right. Comfort and peace. Right. Absolutely.
absolutely.
As Ringo Starr says, peace and love. Peace and love. That's how he always signs his autographs. Or says peace and love.
Oh, we were asking in Deviant Outcast about how their dinner turned out. You guys are the freaking best. Dinner's ready. Just a couple of handsomely carcinogenic blackish patches. Okay, well, please cut those off before you eat them, Deviant Outcast. Thank you for letting us know. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, it snowed in Edmonton. Oh, Stephen Britton, Southern Alberta, heading
Okay.
towards Medicine Hat.
Yeah. That's got to be cold up there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've never experienced below zero temperatures. You know, I think the coldest I have ever experienced was when I lived in southern New Jersey after in the late 70s. And we used to sell door to door where I was in Scientology. And it got down to like 7 or 8 above, you know, and that was cold.
Hey,
but I've
Mark.
never been below zero.
Hey, Mark.
Hey,
Mark.
How you doing? Welcome.
I'm hoping to have Mark. I want to interview him. He's trying to work out a schedule. I want to interview him about his book because I love his book. I read it again recently, and I told him that. But I have specific questions I'd like to ask him about that I don't think he's been asked before that I think would be interesting to everybody. So anyway, so we're going to get that scheduled hopefully for next week.
Excellent.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I've listened to it several times. And Mark, we were just talking about your spy files, right?
We were.
Because people had questions. Yeah. And
Yeah,
a
that's
couple
amazing
people had
how he gets this. Sorry.
Oh, so, no, go ahead.
I just said that's amazing how he acquires those spy files.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I have a question for Mark if he's still in the chat. When you showed the pitch today that was made for David Beckham at the Gold Base, we had a soccer field that we made in 1990, and I'm assuming that got torn up and they made a real proper soccer field after that. That was my question on that. I'm sure that they weren't going to use the one that we did that got wiped out by the flood, and then later, you know, I'm sure they took it out and put in the one for David Beckham. That one never got used either, except on Sea Org Day.
That was ripped out, and this new one was put in.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
None of those sports fields, I mean, when we were put them in, they were for Tom Cruise and David Miscavige. We built an exercise room with all this weightlifting equipment and Stairmasters and stuff. And that was supposed to be for the officers. But when we built it, of course, it was just for David Miscavige, and if he brought down any of the inspector generals, and then when Tom Cruise came to town, that's what it was for. And all the sports, we built a softball field, a soccer field, 2 basketball courts, sand volleyball courts, and they were supposed to be used on Sea Org Day.
Once
a year if we were lucky. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Such a waste of all that money and, you know, life as far as not being able to enjoy it, you know. It's crazy.
We had a basketball court that was put up on the property in the mid 80s, right before they started building what became Building 36. It was the manufacturing building. They had extra concrete from some of the pours or whatever, so the head of estate, Steve Willett, poured a full size basketball court, you know, regulation size with 2 baskets and stuff. And that one got used. We used to have exercise time when David Miscavige was not at the base. Now, if he was there, there was no time for basketball or for exercise time. What's that? There were years that went by that staff never used and had to be replaced many times due to neglect. I'll bet.
Awful.
But we used to play basketball we got off study at like 11:30, and then we had to be on post by 12:30. We would run down there and play full court basketball for like 20-30 minutes, run home, shower. Of course, we lived on the base in those days, and then show up to post. And we had so much fun doing that. But of course, as soon as Miscavige took over RTC and came in, that all got wiped out. And then it got ripped out. And that was basically where Tom Cruise used to land his helicopter when he flew into the base.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's wild. Wow.
Anyway.
I had a couple of things start. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't. No, I just remember things as we go along. Things were different when Miscavige was in Los Angeles, which in the 80s, he'd be in Los Angeles most of the time. Things were very pleasant at the Gold Base. I mean, we worked, and all that, but it wasn't the hellhole it was when Miscavige was there full time. And so, people will tell you that it was actually much more pleasant whenever he came around. You didn't want, it was terrible then. And everything that was like good before, like exercise time and being able to have a meal time and eat and all that all would go away when he came and moved there permanently, and then he just tore it all up. Anyway, sorry.
Oh no. Go on. Go ahead. Anything you want? Anything else to recall about that? Definitely want to.
No. They're just we just start talking and it reminds me of things.
Yeah,
anyway.
Definitely. Just looking at some stuff. Oh, this was just back to talking about the. Let's see. Oh, about your the spy files. They kind of maybe remember that I had some comments from people that were about your quote friend, but wasn't.
Yeah.
Just about how you felt about it. Probably
I
makes
felt
you
terrible.
feel paranoid. Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, I felt terrible when it happened because it was kind of like rips your heart out. Like, a lot of people go, how can you trust people after that? It takes a while, it's really a form of abuse, that you don't realize at the time, because then you start thinking back to what are all the things I told this guy? What are all the things that I did? You know what I mean? What else do they know about me? And in those days I cared, I could care now. I don't care at all, Sure. But those spy files that Mark sent me, and that's just one incident from 2006, 2007, when I started speaking out a little bit on the internet in a private chat group. Okay. Well, I'm sure they have files that go back to 1990 when they sent in people to infiltrate our company and other things. There were a lot of dirty tricks that were done to us that I know that they probably were from Scientology and OSA, but we don't have the files. But I'm thankful that Mark was able to get those files out to us, because it definitely opens up your eyes and just gives you confirmation. So I don't care. I could give a crap about what they say about me because it's all made up BS,
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right. And you said it was a Facebook group, like just a
no,
private...
Yahoo. Yahoo used to have these chat groups.
Oh, I had one. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
But it was just a chat group. Interesting.
Yeah, it was called
I wonder what they think about SPTV.
XSO message board or whatever. It was set up by a gentleman that's a longtime former Scientology Sea Org member. And he set it up, and you basically he had to know you so that you could get in. Well, sure enough, they got in, and then they knew what was going on. But that's where Mark started posting things as Blown for Good too. He started posting things in there as well, which then was like, and then I would back up things that he said, and it just went from there. And of course, they wanted to shut it down, and but they came after me. They came after a guy named Chuck Beatty. They came after a woman named Nancy Maney, who were both friends of mine. And we were supposedly the ringleaders of a lot of the crap that was going on. So they came after us.
Wow.
Anyway. Mike and Leah were talking about Chuck Beatty. Was that just yesterday or so? I forget when they released a video, but they were looking through some of the Chuck Beatty spy files. It's just some. Yeah,
they really went after him too, because he was very vocal. I mean, this is before we felt comfortable speaking out.
Right.
In the mid, this happened in 2006. That's when I first started openly saying things, and then 2008, I went to anonymous protests, and then they came after me, and they went after my mother, and they went after my sister, who was a Scientologist. I mean, they just wanted to clamp it all down, and Blown for Good was a big part of that too, because they were that same time period, they were trying to figure out who's blown for good. And Mark's done some incredible videos about that. Right. But yeah, no, it's just it was just a different time. You know, the internet was just in its infancy, and you know, that's what they did.
Yeah.
No, but as far as trusting people, now when somebody new comes into your life, for me and for Janice, if somebody comes in and they're interested in things and they're asking about things and they're, what are you doing? Oh, what's happening with this or what's happening with that? They stick out like a sore thumb, because the people that are your normal friends, they could care less. They don't even care that I have an SPTV channel. You know what I mean?
Sure.
People that I hang out with and all that.
Yeah.
I say, oh, I got this channel, blah, blah, blah. It's doing really well. Yeah, whatever.
You're right.
I got problems with Joe over here, my son Joe over on the soccer team. Sorry, I'm not interested in your stupid channel.
Well, yeah, no, I totally understand that, because like people in my, well, I won't say my real life, because you guys are in my real life too, but still, it's like you'd have to explain so much to, you know what I mean? It's just exhausting. It's not worth it. And they probably wouldn't be that interested anyways. So yeah, so I talked to you guys about all this culty stuff, because you kind of understand, It's like,
well, and that's kind of why I
it's
set up
something.
my other little channel for fun. You know what I mean? Because we can talk about this stuff all the time, but it's not stuff that's interesting to a lot of the people that I know in my family and friends. So I set up my travel channel. So just because I like to travel and I could do fun videos, and put them up. And I've lived in Vegas for 33 years now or something, and I've traveled lots of places. And, where's a good place to have a proper breakfast in Vegas? I mean, people come, when you live here, we know what's good and what's not,
Right.
and what's
Oh, yeah.
reasonably priced and what's not. So I thought, well, I'll do some fun videos now, now that I have the experience with SPTV. So anyway, and then I've been to Hawaii and I've been to other places. So I'm just building it up. And then I have Misha, my dog, is involved in it. I've done some, shorts for her, and she gets a ton of views. I don't get as many views. But yeah, that's at M Fisher LV. So if you put anybody watching, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to my channel. I've got 354 subscribers. I only started it a week and a half ago. So
Wow.
But I've got like 8 videos that I put up there, so there's stuff to watch.
And your Scientology Stories, Peeling the Onion, has close to 10,000 now, right?
Yeah, we're at 9,120 something. We're not at 10. It's slowed down actually over the last 3 or 4 weeks. But yeah, we want to get up to 10,000 too, so that if the Aftermath Foundation or somebody wants to use our channel as well for a fundraiser, we can do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we're like, yeah. So if you haven't subscribed to our Scientology Stories Peeling the Onion, please do so.
Yeah,
we have a lot of really good stuff on there. We did a video last Wednesday, a tribute to a really important person in Scientology and Sea Organization who left, right? He left. He got kicked out in 1982. But for people who are interested in the history of Scientology, his name was Kerry Gleason, and he actually was the executive director international, and got kicked out by Miscavige and replaced by a gentleman by Guillaume Lasarve. But Kerry Gleason was by far, if he had stayed in control of Scientology, you wouldn't have seen the abuses, number one. But number two, Scientology would be huge right now, because the guy was a dynamo. And after he left Scientology and went out on his own, he started with nothing like most of us did, and he built a huge business, a personal efficiency business, all over Europe, and made millions of dollars doing that. And he just was a great guy, and a lot of people. So we did a tribute to him, and Mike Rinder came on. That's the first time we've had Mike on our channel. And Mike, actually, Kerry Gleason was his first senior in the Sea Organization. He had very fond memories of Kerry. Cool. So it was really a heartfelt tribute. So you can see that on our channel too.
Excellent.
Yeah, everybody rock slam that like.
That's
right. Show your shirt again.
Yeah, I got my Rock Slammer t-shirt on.
Nice.
Rock Slammer with the fist, You can get this on our merchandise site, and then on this sleeve, it's got our logo, our Scientology Stories Peeling the Onion. But yeah, it comes in multiple colors and different sizes and all that. If you want to be a Rock Slammer too, you can.
And you have, is it on your channel? Do you have like a merch store link?
Yeah.
Yeah. Clearwater Cheryl is saying, "Hey, Steve-O."
Cheryl.
Hey, Steve-O.
Oh, Cheryl.
Good evening. Hi, Lumidawa.
I just have to show Cheryl that I.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I got a body thing too. It's in the other room, but it has
I got one too.
Mine has hair.
Yeah. Mine has a hat. Mine has a ball cap, but I set it.
Hey,
somewhere.
Denver Steve-O, I was going to ask you, who does your intros? Do you do those? They're really, really well done.
The one.
I was wondering too. if that was him in the suit.
Well, no, and then I saw this. I was on Xeno Nation.
That was great.
The other night.
Oh,
I was on Xeno Nation in the chat the other day, and the intro with the Xeno, the alien dude is really good.
Awesome.
I will say I put that together. I was not dressed up in a Xenu costume.
Somebody had to use the camera.
Right. I mean, and that is clearly just Xenu. But yeah, I mean, between some of the what is it called, royalty-free stuff that's out there, got the music and the video stuff, and actually took some video pieces and spliced them a little bit differently, and yeah, so I put that together.
How did you get Xenu to agree to be in the video?
I know.
I had to sign a 1 billion-year contract with him. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's funny because I do picture Xenu really with those moves just like that.
Oh yeah, no, that's absolutely. I mean, dude's old. I mean, but he can move.
Yep.
I don't know how old he was when he did the whole DC-8 thing, but add another 75 million years onto that. So,
yeah, my intros and stuff are just very plain Jane. I do them on Canva, you know what I mean, and just I put in some photographs and some music and stuff. But yours are like a whole production, movie. Apostate Alex's are really good too, and also of course Helicopter. I mean, those are really, really good too.
Yeah. Didn't I don't know. I think it was an intro. I don't know if it was a short or whatever, but Alex did one today. It was Power Rangers or something. Did you see it?
Oh yeah,
go Power Rangers.
Power Thetans, was it? Go Power Thetans. Yeah.
Alex did that. I'll have to see that one.
Yeah. You have to see it.
Yeah.
He's a really, really great guy. Anyway, I'm sorry. What'd you put up there?
No, go ahead.
No, he's a great guy. We had he's been on our show before, and then we had him with Robin Scott, and for his he wasn't in Scientology for very long, and it was recent that he was in, but he's very knowledgeable, and he's great to talk to and debate with, and he's got a lot of knowledge, and he's really, really well spoken and stuff. So
awesome,
excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Sunrise Dawn said PTS for Life and Escaping the Cultiverse are just finishing their lives, so I'm guessing more folks will show up here. All right,
awesome, fantastic.
Yeah, I love PTS. Jeff's new channel, especially when his wife is on. She's great. No, just I was teasing him about it because we did a stream together the other day, and I'm actually going to be talking to, is it Gabrielle from Escaping the Cultiverse? And speaking of Apostate Alex, he introduced both of them to SPTV. So thank you, Alex.
That's great.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's great.
That is great.
It's true.
There was a little bit of a traffic jam tonight with Mike and Mark on, talking about David Beckham. At the same time, Amy and Mitch were on. At the same time, Aaron and Relatable Reese were on, all at the same time. So it makes it difficult to watch everybody, but
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we Never-Ins try to, at least, we've talked about it with I've talked about it with these guys and myself too, is like, I either go on in the morning or we go on more later at night, because this is your space, you're ex-Scientologists, and we're just kind of here to support. We try to work around you as much as we can. So,
well, we're doing the same thing. We're doing the same thing. Janice and I decided we're putting out videos. I talked to Mark Headley about it, and it's a good idea. We just put out the videos in the morning. And then when we do a live chat, we're trying to pick an earlier time that still can reach the East Coast, but it's like morning time, our time out here on the West Coast. And that way we don't run into anybody that's doing a video, like 7 or 8 o'clock Eastern time. We do it like in the afternoon Eastern time on a Saturday. So people could still watch it on their day off. So that's basically how we're doing it now.
Yeah, that's great.
That's great. Yep.
Sunrise Dawn said it was hard to choose. Well, yeah, to choose one to watch. I ended up bouncing around. I've done that so many times too. Yeah.
Well, everybody has their own taste. I look, I'm not talking bad about anybody, but I love Mark and Mike. I just think they're hilarious. The stories are always awesome, but they're also very funny. So that's the number one choice for me, and then I go from there. I love Amy too. Don't get me wrong. I love Amy and Mitch too, but Mark Headley is he's so interesting.
Yeah, I love them all. There's always the replay, right? So
yeah, you can always watch the replay.
No. You want the people to be there live in your chat, asking questions and doing the stuff.
Well, I'll have several windows open at once, and just kind of that way I think they're getting the watch hours, right?
Should be.
Like if you're so at least they know people are watching them.
And I understand people can't watch everything. Pick what you like.
It's true.
Yeah. But I picked the same as you, Mark. I picked Mark's stuff because they were talking about, Tom Cruise's stuff and all that goobly gobbly stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So there's a couple more things. Let's see. Matt's caustic comments. I love your caustic comments, Matt. My family thinks I'm a nut for watching SPTV. I explained to them it's an entertaining hobby that actually helps people. That's that's point.
Good.
Very good point.
Well said.
I think this was about your new channel. Happy Chaos Peggy, who is in the backstage. Thank you so much, Peggy, for all you do, for all your work. I see you.
Peggy.
We love you, Peggy. I appreciate it, Mark. We live close enough to Vegas that we get to go on day excursions. Nice. I want to know what else to do besides the strip.
Great. I will do a video on that of like the top 10 things to do away from the strip, and we'll go from there. There's a lot to do. I mean, there's Red Rock Canyon. A lot of them are free too. You can go to Red Rock Canyon, which is gorgeous. It's only a 20-minute drive up to Mount Charleston. You can go to the Hoover Dam. You can go, lots of things. So Peggy, I'll be happy to, set that up. That's a good idea for my next video that I'll do.
And
go to the UFC training facility.
You can.
There you go. Mm-hmm. So this question was in all caps, so I assume it's for Mark. How was your weekend? Because I think Kazri of heck.com went to the protest and got great footage of all the SPTV creators that were simultaneously streaming on their different channels. But this Kazri friend got the whole picture, which is really cool because she got all
Hecate. It's Kazri of Hecate.com.
Okay.
Yes. Fantastic video. Yeah, it was so fun because I was watching Liz's live, and then when I watched Kazri's, it was like seeing a lot of the shots from like the behind, so whereas it like you see Liz, okay, now you see Liz's camera facing out. Now all of a sudden you see Kazri's camera pointing at Liz so it's like, oh my God, I saw that from the other angle. And it was really kind of like when Serge kind of came walking in and which, by the way, the two greatest entrances I've ever seen were Lara FM coming in doing her whatever moves she does, and then Serge just kind of strutting in like
I gotta see that.
He had like the shades on and the thing over his hair, and he just kind of came. It was like he was just sliding in. I know he's a dancer. He just had that slide, like kind of like right in through the cameras and into the thing. It's fantastic. So anyway, Mark, how was your weekend?
My weekend was fine. I don't really remember much that I did other than just, I still, I worked on I did the two videos that I put out, the one on Hawaii and the one with Janice and Ron Miscavige. I did that. Sunday, I'll be honest with you. Sunday, I'm an NFL football junkie in the morning. Now, we get the games at 10 o'clock in the morning, and I have a favorite team. So I'm perched in front of the TV. Of course, they lost, and they're always lose. But it doesn't matter. It's still the one vice that I have.
Sure.
Nice.
You how does it feel to have your own pro football team? I know it's not like
you mean in Las Vegas? I actually don't root for them at all, but
Okay.
but I'm happy they're here. We're going to have the Super Bowl here this year.
Yes.
Actually, next month we have the Formula One race that's going to be down around the Strip, and that's been a nightmare getting that set up because they've had for about 6 months they've just been tearing up the streets and putting all the stuff in, and they spent $40 million repaving the course, where it's going to be. It's in the streets in front of the Las Vegas Strip, in front of the Bellagio and the Mirage and all that. And then it goes around that new Sphere auditorium. I don't know if you guys have seen that with the lights that lights up. And that's going to be like the third week in November. And that's going to be packed, And then from there, we have the National Finals Rodeo. And then we go with Super Bowls, in February. So it's the first time we've had that here.
Wow. $40 million to repave the roads just for them to be ripped up in that during.
Well, actually, it'll last longer than that because it's really high quality asphalt apparently. But they have to do it right now. They've been putting up the stanchions and the lights and all that, and it's going to be a nightmare. I mean, literally a nightmare in terms of driving around the hotels. So that's why it's good to go find places outside of the Strip.
Go to the dam, Peggy. Go to the dam.
Yeah. Anyway, how was your weekend, Steve-O and Chad and Marilyn?
Yeah.
It was a weekend.
It was a weekend. I woke up late on Saturday and got up, started watching the protests and did my show and then pretty much passed out. And yesterday was just kind of a lazy day. So it was, it was a nice down weekend for the most part. So
that's good.
Same here. Didn't get much done, but that's good for a weekend.
Well, I have two puppies, and so they keep me busy. And of course, just all the weekend stuff that you got to do, the cleaning and grocery shopping and all that. But my husband went up to the White Mountains for a few days to go hiking. So, and it's kind of cold up there, but yeah, so I'm here with the puppies, but I've pretty much just wanted to be a support to Liz and Vanessa, Laura, all of I call them my second gens and Serge and everybody while they were at the Celebrity Center. So I did a lot of modding for them and just cheering them on. And then yesterday morning, I usually do probably maybe 3-4 times a week, I'll do what I call morning musings. So if I wake up and feel inspired and have something to say, I just go on it, usually about 10, 11 o'clock my time. So it's really early on the West Coast. Without fail, Liz Ferris, she's such an early bird. And I'm like, she's definitely not going to pop in. She's not even going to be in the chat this morning. But I titled it, just musing about the protest. She pops in. Hi, she calls me Mom. Hi, Mom. She's like, send me a link. I'm like, a link? She popped on screen with me for a few minutes. Her voice was so hoarse, but it was just great to see her. And she's such a trooper. I mean, you see York people, you're fucking tough. She screamed herself hoarse, and then she gets up early and goes live with me. It was just crazy, but it was so nice to see her. And I'm just so proud of them for standing up. And I love how even all of you, how you really work together and you support each other and you help each other and stand together and use your voices together. So I love that. Great. Very inspiring.
I love how all the cars driving by will honk their horns.
I know. Yeah, at one point
like I noticed Clearwater too.
Yeah, there were 3 lanes going the same direction, which I never see because I live in the boonies. But I was like, oh my God, everybody's honking. It was amazing. It's just the energy, you could feel it through the screen, right?
I was just gonna say the positive energy was really great.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
I'm just going. OBG Foster, hello. Just arrived from Aaron's Live. Welcome. So anytime you need to wind down, Mark, we won't hold you hostage forever, but we're enjoying you being here, so you can stay as long as you want.
I actually, speaking of puppies, I got to take my dog.
So. Okay, I understand. Totally
understand.
But I appreciate y'all having me on. I've enjoyed it.
I'm not kicking you out. I just wanted to give you, the opportunity if you needed to. Yeah.
So. Yeah. How much longer do you think you're going to
go? My sweet spot is usually an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes, but these guys are troopers.
They keep rolling.
So,
Well, I'm going to drop then, if that's all right with you guys. Is that all right?
okay.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well,
Yeah.
I always enjoy talking with you all and, relaying stories or whatever. And hope everybody enjoys it as well.
Yeah.
Oh, without a
Thank you so
doubt.
much.
Without
Thanks
a
so
doubt.
much.
Yeah. Thanks,
Good
Mark.
night. Take care.
Okay, everybody. We'll
All
see you
right.
the next time. Thanks very
All right.
much. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank
Mark.
you.
Great to see you.
All right. Here we are.
Well, all you fools that are just now coming from Aaron's live, you just missed Mark Fisher. So, ha.
It's okay. There's always the replay. Everybody's saying bye, Mark.
No,
Have a
you
good
missed
night.
him. You missed him. He's gone now.
Aaron talked his battery to death.
Of
That's
course he
happened
did.
before.
Of course. Damn light.
Aaron read a document about Scientology trafficking arbitration. Oh, I got to catch that one. My
Replay
goodness.
indeed.
And I happen to know, for all of you late night insomniacs or people that are still early for, at 11 o'clock Clearwater time. So what is that? 8 o'clock Pacific.
Mhm.
Doug, Days But Not Confused. Doug will be having his Q&A. Usually has them on Sunday nights, but he's doing an AMA tonight because I don't know what happened to him last night, but does like a little drinking game. Interesting for a Monday night, but I might crack a light beer this time. Last time I had wine and I got too tipsy. So
It's more than just a drinking game.
I know.
It's
an
whatever.
AMA.
It's like, hey guys, grab your
Oh, that's true. Yes.
Grab your tomato.
Whatever your poison.
grab
Your
your
tomato.
smoke a tomato.
Right. That's true. Just imbibe. And some people just have water or, tea.
Nobody has just water.
I do want to say everyone should, if whoever didn't see it, everyone should go back and view the last one of Denver Steve-O's shows where we talked about the tomato. That was a really good show.
Yes.
Last Wednesday is the good tomato story. Saturday, the tomato himself arrived, but the best story would be Wednesday. But thank you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
OBG Foster, I think Zach will be on tomorrow to discuss the document. Excellent.
Nice.
Excellent.
And people are filling us in. Thank you, Stephen. It was the Valerie Heaney arbitration. Oh, her lawyer submitted an affidavit detailing the shit show that was the arbitration. Yeah.
Awesome.
It's not even, hardly could be called that, which is just, I was just thinking about this today, is that I don't know how they get away with it, but it's just so obvious that they're a cult because they just do the stupidest shit, right? And somehow get away with it. Hopefully not for very long, not forever. But the fact that they, on a Saturday, which they never have, quote, services on a Saturday, they put up a big sign. It was all glossy that said October, what was it, 21st or whatever, church service. And then they had the tree people. Like, why would they schedule tree workers at the same time they're having this sacred service so that they couldn't use their megaphones because there was a church service going on? Just so frustrating.
Yeah,
just
ridiculous. Yep.
Right. And then they arrest a security guard, or they have the police. That, of course, Scientology themselves did not arrest him, but had the police arrest a security guard for brandishing his weapon, which he had a concealed carry thing, and it was concealed. So not like he was waving it around. Going, I got a gun.
And he was one of their brothers. He was one of them. He was a LAPD. I think he was maybe newly retired, but come on, people.
Well, they didn't. I think that was the other thing too. They didn't really arrest him. It's like they handcuffed him, which sucked in itself. Put him in the car, and they drove him around the block pretty much. I mean, it was he was back very quickly, so he did not go to
Yeah, but he had injuries on his wrists from that.
They
must have roughed him up a little bit. And as far as from what I heard, that Liz said when they first showed up, there were 17 cops. She must have counted them, LAPD, and they had one hired, security.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Is this streaming on either of Mark channels? It's streaming on 4 channels, but I think it's streaming twice on Chad's because it looks like I set it to stream on yours, Chad, and then you hit stream to your channel. So I think there's 2 streams going on your channel.
I didn't know you did that. Sorry.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, because I always do.
Oh, okay.
I thought, it looked like an O instead of a C, so I thought it was the Onion channel, but it's not. It's yours.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. So it's not this time, no. There was another blow drill. Doug and Alex's agents are in talks for a cage match, so maybe there will be breaking news on his Q&A. What?
Awesome.
Yeah, this sounds like fun.
Yeah.
It was like, what is it? Was it Monday Night Raw or something like that?
Yes.
My boys used to watch that. What was the Friday night? Was it Friday night?
It used to be like it was like Monday Night Raw and then Tuesday night SmackDown.
Oh, it's
and then
Tuesday
I think SmackDown moved to Friday, and so you're right. I think it was
Duncan took the boys to one of those, and they came home and they were just such little fucking brats. They were just like, for weeks they were just slamming each other on the floor. They have all of those plastic action figures in the attic still. Crazy.
Nice.
But they're out of the boxes because they played with them. They really played with them. And Austin used to do these like stop action things like before there was any way to do it easily. So he would just like take slow video, and he still has them somewhere on his old YouTube channel. I'll have to dig them out, show you guys. It'd be hilarious. He wasn't arrested. He was detained.
All right, detained. All right.
That's still pretty bad.
Handcuffing is standard procedure. All right. Thank you, Stephen, and possibly Google, or maybe you just, you know a lot of stuff. Handcuffing completely incorrectly.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it causes injuries, probably, it was.
Right.
Mischief. Good evening. That's okay. Miss Sunrise Dawn said, my dog is growling in his sleep. Must be dreaming about Scientology.
Clearly.
Yep.
So we have some lovely soapbox parts. I hope you're still with us, Joel. I wanted to save it for when we could read it. Soapbox. Fuck yeah. Is that of America?
Soapbox. Fuck yeah. Yeah, I love it. Sorry, Joel. Sorry. Yes, part 1. Today, I want to speak of mental illness and one of the roles it plays in animal abuse. I have been involved in, is that a 5? 5 horror rescues. The people that do this need special help. Today, ... Wait, I missed it.
Can you do it?
I think I can.
That's 3. You need 2. We do 2. There you go.
Oh, because 1 moved. That's why. Because 1 went away. No, I was aiming. No, you're fine.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, today I did a rescue, maybe even an intervention of a lady who was a hoarder. Was a hoarder in the making. Sorry. We removed 2 dogs, 2 cats, 2 snakes, and an iguana. This lady got all of these in less than 30 days.
Whoa.
It was part 3. It was noticed by neighbors. Our intervention was before too much abuse happened. Well, that's good. But what you need to remember, once this behavior starts, where did it go?
Oh, it's there. Oh, it's on screen.
Oh, that's why. Okay. Oh, I
Yeah.
was reading from the other one.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's all good. Once this behavior starts, it goes fast. They can get a lot in a short time. The thing is real. It is mental illness. It is a mental illness. If you notice anything like this, you don't need to call the cops, but call the Humane Society. They will know what to do without. They will know what to do without. What is it?
Without going all 5.
Oh, without going all 5-0.
5-0,
Without
yeah.
going all 5-0. Cops.
The
Got
end.
it. The end. Yes. If you've ever, I mean, I guess I don't know it personally, but you know, if you've ever seen the hoarders thing, or you know the news when 20 cats are rescued from a home or something like that, yeah, it's you can't care for any of those animals in you know, in any sort of respectable way by hoarding them or, you know, collecting animals just because you want them. It's just, yeah. Thank you, Joel. Very great message and very true, and didn't realize that that the Humane Society could help in a situation like that. So aside from, you know, how they would help the animals. So that's great to know. Thank you.
Thank you, Joel.
Thank you, Joel.
You can put up another animal one. Miss Sunrise Dawn. Animals have a special place in my heart. I have 15 cats and a dog, all rescues. We said no more cats at 14 unless one showed up in the yard. Along came Shelly. Oh, there's Shelly. We've been wondering where's Shelly.
Awesome.
They know we're suckers. Yes. I love that. And Miss Sunrise Dawn also said, Aaron always kills that light. Yep, he does, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And Miss Sunrise Dawn, she's making up for lost time because she came from another channel.
Yes.
What's the name of Mark's new channel? It is M Fisher LV.
Nice.
At M Fisher LV.
That's right. Mark Fisher's Las Vegas.
Yeah.
That's a great channel.
So we got that. And then this was talking about SBTV, best TV learning and healing together. Nice to watch people I care about. Thank you, Lumi Dawa. We care about all y'all too. We do.
Yep.
Jenny Wan, OBG Foster. I watched it as well. So that must be Aaron's. Is it Aaron's live?
Yeah.
The arbitration. What a joke. What a choke
Yeah.
of arbitration. Hope the judge sees through it and goes with Valerie's lawyers. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that was tonight. Was that with Aaron and Reese?
I missed it. I was watching Mark's.
Yeah, I was on the phone or on FaceTime
Okay.
with a certain girl with certain pink hair for about 2.5 hours.
Nice.
We were picking on Steve-O.
Nice.
Were you
He's
now?
just so much fun. He's so much fun to tease. Were you now?
Without me being there, that's not fair.
Well, no, we kept sending you screenshots.
One. I got one.
Oh,
Rolled eyes.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, Chad knows. See, it was one.
Oh, Aaron and Reese was different. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I missed it.
So Aaron and Reese
must have
were
done one
on,
of
and
his
then
short
Aaron
ones.
got off and then got right back on and did arbitration. Wow. Okay.
Gotcha. Interesting. Okay, so that's all I have for start. Oh, no. No,
Hi,
Marilyn.
Kadini.
Aaron went solo. Hi, Kadini. Breaking news. Oh, good.
Okay.
All right. We got a lot to catch up
Gotcha.
on. Okay, so that's it for me, guys. Do you want to stay on or what do you think? I got to go check on my puppies and get ready to crochet and watch Doug later.
No, let's let everybody get ready to go watch Doug because
Okay.
yeah,
That'll be
that
fun.
seems to be the right thing to do.
Yep. That's the High 11
All right,
Smith, of course.
everybody. Oh, hello, Levin Smith.
Levin Smith.
So this is a lot of fun. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. And you want to do the outro?
No, but yeah, I do. I just, forgot that we have an outro.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting for your outro pleasure,